So let's learn about what is gradient. So let's begin with a physical example. This is our Earth, which has radius r. Then the equation of the surface of the Earth will be x square plus y square plus z square is equal to r square. Let's take another surface above it at height h. The equation of this surface will be x square plus y square plus z square is equal to r plus h square. Simplifying, it will become z square minus r square is equal to s square plus 2rh. Okay, so let's take at the surface of the Earth the gravitational potential is equal to 0. Okay, so if we are to convert this equation into gravitational potential equation, we have to multiply by some constant, because in this equation the dimension is L square and we need dimensions of M L square by T square. Okay, because we know half mv square minus half mu square is equal to g m g h. Okay, so this is the m, this is L square by T square. So from here this term has come, because these are units of potential energy. mgh is potential energy. So to convert the units of L square to potential energy units, we will multiply by some constant. C is equal to some constant which has dimensions of m by t square. Okay, so multiplying by c on both sides, this will not affect our overall equation because we are multiplying by c on both sides. So this is now our new equation. So let's say right hand side is, our right hand side term is potential term, which is dependent on h, height h. Okay, so this become our new equation ph, where p is our gravitational potential. As p depends on h, so we will write like this: p is a function of h. If we increase h, the p will increase. If we decrease h, p will decrease. Okay, so let's move on. Now we will see what is the definition of gradient. So gradient is represented by this symbol, which is defined as del f by del x I cap plus del f by del y j cap plus del f by del z k cap. So what is the meaning of this gradient? So let's understand from our example. Since our function is gravitational potential, so let's put our function here. F is pH. Our function is gravitational potential. So what this definition of gradient is saying, let's understand with our example. So this was our earth at height h. There is another surface. So here P was 0. Here some pH. Say this is H1. Similarly, there will be another pH2. So if we move in x direction, so let's say this is our x-axis. This is our x-axis and this is our y-axis. So if we move in x direction, the potential will change. Like from here, some x we move in this direction, the potential will change to from 0 to pH. Okay, so this is defined by our first term. But if we move further from here in y direction, there will be potential pH2. Okay, it will be added in this potential because from our reference point 0 to pH we have, after moving this distance h, we have gained pH1 potential. From here only, not from starting from 0 but from pH1. If we further move some distance in the direction of y, the potential gain will be pH2. Similarly, if we move further from this spherical level, from this surface level, we will reach to another surface level after moving in z direction. Think about these levels as surfaces, spherical surfaces. Okay, so imagine we are on S2, S1. So if we move from S2 to further distance in z direction, we will reach to another surface S3, where the potential will be another surface S3, where the potential will be P, where the potential will be PH3. Okay, so from PH2 we move further in Z direction, we will reach another surface level where potential is PH3. So that PH2, PH3 minus PH2 is contributed by moving in Z direction. Okay, so that PH3 minus PH2 is contributed by moving in Z direction or K direction. Okay, so here we will write it again. What is the contribution after moving in? So let's write in next page. What is the contribution after moving in? X for I cap direction is P H1. What is the contribution after moving in Y direction? It is PH2. Similarly, PH2 minus PH1, because we were already at PH1, so the gain in potential will be PH2 minus PH1 for the movement in Y direction. This we have reached now at PY2. From PY2, if we move further in Z direction, K direction, the further gain in potential will be PZ, PH3 minus PH2, because we are starting from PH2 now, so the potential gain will be PH3 minus PH2. So the total gain in potential is defined by gradient P, which will be summing all the terms. We will get PH1 plus PH2 minus plus PH3 minus PH2. So this is, what is this? This is PH3. Okay, this will be cancelled. This will be cancelled. So now you have started gaining the essence of what is gradient. Gradient is the change in function after moving in X direction, Y direction, and then Z direction. Okay, if we move, let's say, in some particular direction R, so if we move in particular direction R, how we will find gradient? We will break this R into its constituents. R x cap, R x vector plus R y vector. Okay, so let's understand it a little bit more. Since we have our potential fields, okay, If now we move in some direction which is random, so if we move in some direction which is random, okay, is some direction which is random, okay, this is not proper. Let's say we move in direction, some direction or cap. Since we have taken here our potential 0, so we will be so our vector will be rx I cap plus ry j cap plus rz k cap. We have to move rx, ry and rz distance in respective directions. We cannot move directly in r direction, okay, because we are not working in polar coordinates. So let's go back to our equation. Gradient P is equal to pH. This is our example. This we have understood by an example. So let's go back to our equation. First equation. This is our first equation. So if we apply gradient to this equation, we have taken this as our example, okay, and this is our definition of gradient. And we will apply this gradient on our function pH, okay. So let's apply gradient on this function. This function is c x square plus y square plus z square minus r square is equal to pH. So let's apply gradient on both sides. So gradient pH will become gradient c x square plus y square plus z square minus r square, okay. So c, since c is a numerical value, c is constant, it will come outside and the gradient will be applied on the changing variables inside, okay. Then it will become, applying the definition of gradient, it is del by del x, okay. So let's write in this fashion, okay, and then this is multiplied by this function. If we apply del by del x on x square plus y square plus z square minus r square, since it is partial differentiation, the term with which we are differentiating will be taken into account and all the other terms will be taken as constant, okay. So this first term applying on this whole term will become 2x because we are taking partial differentiation here. Similarly, del this whole bracket by del y will become 2y j cap, because there is also term I cap j cap. Okay, similarly to z cap, because all, if we differentiate by del z, this whole term x is taken constant, it will become 0, y is taken constant, it will become 0, only z will change, z square will change, and it will change to 2z in the direction of k cap. R is constant. Okay, R is the radius of earth. So del ph is c 2x I cap plus 2y j cap plus 2z k cap, or we can write this as 2x in vector form, 2y and 2z. This is vector form in Cartesian coordinates. Okay, so this is our gradient of gravitational potential that we have taken. Our example is c 2x plus 2x I cap plus 2y j cap plus 2z k cap. So let's go further. This is our direction of gradient. So let's understand what is this direction, 2x I cap plus 2y j cap plus 2z k cap in our example. So this is equal to 0. This is okay. So here is some coordinate x, y. Okay, let's talk in 2 dimension. So this is our coordinate x, y. So let's take z is equal to 0. We are dealing in only 2D plane. So let's take our coordinate x, y, z. Okay, so what is this implying? 2x plus 2y plus 2z k cap is implying that from here, if our coordinates are these, then the direction will be, if this is x coordinate, this is x distance, then the 2x will be double this, and 2y will be double this. So I think that this have to come over. Let's go. So let's take this coordinate x, y, z. Then from here the x is this is x distance, this is x distance, this is y distance. Okay, so our direction is our direction is 2x, double the distance of this. and double the distance of y bar. So this will be our direction. We are taking only two-dimensional, direction. Let's say z is 0. Okay, z is 0. Okay, here z is 0. We are in this disk. Okay, we are in this disk. Then z is equal to 0. There is some coordinate x, y, 0. Okay, so this will be our direction. So what we are seeing here, that this direction is perpendicular to our surface levels. Okay, this is our surface, spherical surface. This will be perpendicular. Okay, so how we will prove this mathematically? So let's take this surface level S. Okay, some surface level S. So if we move on this surface level, okay, if we move on this surface level, like if we are moving on this surface level, okay, then what will be the change in dp? Since p is constant here, p is same at every point on this level. If we move outside this level or inside this level, then only p will change, but not on moving the surface level, the same surface level. So dp by d small s, this is our ds, this will be 0. Okay, so let's move on next page. dp by ds is equal to 0. So applying the chain rule, dp can also be written as dp by ds can also be written as del p by del x into del x by del s plus del p by del y into del y by del s plus del p by del z into del z by del s. We have applied the chain rule. Okay, so this equation will become dp by dx plus dp by dy plus dp by dz. So if we try to write in this way, this is not looking right. Okay, because here if we multiply, then dx by ds can also be multiplied by dt by dy, but there is no such term in our above equation, in our required equation. So we have to multiply by I cap, j cap, k cap in both the terms, in both the brackets, so that if we multiply we get the same equation as our above equation. Okay, because if we multiply I cap by I cap, then it will become 1 and it will become non-directional. Okay, it will become just a scalar quantity. So we can write in this way also. So let's move on. So this term, what is this? This is del p. This is del p. Okay, and what is this term? We have to dot multiply also, because this is our dot product. We cannot do cross product, because if we do cross product we will not get the above equation. So this is del p. We have seen the definition of gradient. And what is this? So if we take ds, which is just a constant outside, dx, we will remain with dx I cap plus dy j cap plus dz k cap, which is nothing but dr. Okay, so dr is equal to 0. What is the direction of dr? Dr is tangent. Since we are moving along the surface or on the spherical surface, this will be our dr direction, which is tangent. Okay, which is tangent direction. The magnitude is ds, the direction is dr. Okay, we can say this ds only, ds, our direction is ds in this direction, which is tangent. Okay, so this is ds, which is magnitude, and ds is direction. So this will become, this whole thing will become del p dot ds by ds. Okay, what is this? This is a unit vector, which is the unit vector which is tangent to our the moving direction along which we are moving. Okay, so we are moving in this direction, and gradient p dot ds vector is equal to 0. This implies that the angle between gradient p and vector ds is 90 degree, because del p by del s vector cos theta is equal to 0. Okay, implies theta is equal to 90 degree. So we can prove mathematically also that our gradient p direction will be the tangent, the perpendicular to our movement. Okay, at every point, if we move here, the direction will be perpendicular here. Okay, if we move here, the direction gradient p will be perpendicular to this direction. Okay. So now we have understood what is gradient, and we have also proved why direction of gradient is always perpendicular to our motion. Okay, if you don't understand anything, you can write me in the comments. Okay.